There are stories that refuse to die, stories that live on in the shadows, where fact and fiction become one. Some call them legends, others call them warnings. Well, we call them invitations into the unknown. Welcome to Urban Legends Unleashed, where we search every state for the most bone-chilling and heart-stopping urban legends that still linger in the shadows of the places many of us call home. Hello, and welcome to Urban Legends Unleashed, a series hosted here at Legends After Midnight.
Whoa. Hold on. What makes this different from any other podcast?
Well, I'm glad you asked. In this series, we will do a small dive into urban legends from every state, as I said before. But we are going to be telling each urban legend from a campfire perspective, meaning like you sit around a campfire at summer camp, and they can tell stories like about Bigfoot, the Hookman story, and everything. And we tell it in that, and then we also talk about the urban legends after, about what we get from each urban legend, like the lessons and stories we told.
Yes, they're all original. Also, hi, I was never introduced, but y'all probably heard me from all other videos and whatnot. But it's Conrad, yay! Are you guys excited that I'm here?
Yeah, I got Conrad here co-hosting with me. We don't have a Mr. Sam here, as he's doing Sam stuff, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for my co-host, Conrad. Yeah. But yeah, as you said, every story in the series will be an original campfire story, and we are going to take these stories, like these ones are mostly vague, and then we'll take them, amplify them, and make them into our original creepypasta type stories. That makes sense?
Also, I kind of miss Dog. We haven't used Dog in a while.
Yes, we haven't. They don't even know who Doug is yet because we haven't got that video unedited.
I'll get the video done editing.
Yes, and you'll meet Doug. It's been a hot minute.
At the time of recording, we recorded Dog. I almost coming up on half a year ago. So,
all right. Well, without any further distractions, we're going to get to our first story of the series. And by the way, forgot to say this: their first state we're going over is our home state of Indiana. So,
yeah,
yay, Hoosiers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing but Colts and Colts and corn, the Pacers, the Indy 500.
Hey, Pacers are actually doing good.
They are. They're doing pretty good. All right, but anyway, on to the first story. Our first story of tonight and of the whole series is called "Don't Follow the Whistling." Story by your narrator right here, Orion. I mean, you guys already know my name. I probably shouldn't introduce myself anyway. Anyway, on to the story.
He sucks. What?
Hey, uncalled for. Anyway, on to the story. It is said, if you are walking in the woods and hear someone whistling behind you, do not turn around. Well, this is a story about someone who didn't follow the rules of the forest of Indiana. A place where the trees grow close enough to seem like a wooden wall, and the trails disappear faster than you can blink. A man was on a hike deep in the Hoosier forest as the day neared dusk. When he heard it for the first time, a short, sharp whistle. Now, on any other day, the man would have just thought nothing of it because birds whistle all the time in the forest. But this time, it felt, different. Not a bird this time, or even the wind. It was as if someone, or something, was trying to get his attention. But when he stopped walking to look behind him, the whistling stopped too. To make things worse, there was nothing there. Freaked out, the man just turned around and started walking again. Then he heard it again. Only this time, he heard something else. Footsteps. Small ones. Too light to be a deer, and too steady to be an animal, in fact. That is when the voice called his name. Not yelled, but barely loud enough to be heard, as if someone was just over his shoulder whispering into his ear. The man turned again. No one there. This time, however, there was something he could see. Footprints, not animal prints or even boot prints. No, he saw small, bare, human-shaped footprints leading off the trail into the tree line. And against anything he had been told, he followed them. Then the forest went completely quiet and still. No buzzing of insects, no chirping of birds, or even the whooshing of the wind. The only thing he heard was the sound of his own breathing. Then he saw it, standing behind a tree. It was short, no more than 3 feet tall. The creature had grayish skin, long arms, a wide nose that didn't look right on its small head, small figure in that sense. But the most remarkable feature was its eyes. They reflected in the fading sunlight just like an animal's eyes would. Unlike an animal, however, these eyes weren't unaware. They were intelligent, in fact. It seemed like a man. It smiled like a man at the man, too. Not a friendly smile, might I add. A knowing one. Just then, the man felt a shove from behind. Just hard enough to make him stumble forward. When he was able to catch himself and get back up, he looked up and around. It was gone. Not a single sound. Just the forest sat still. Only trees surrounding him. That's when the man turned around and ran through the forest, through the bushes and the thorns, knocking into trees and tripping over stumps and roots. Still, he ran and ran until he was able to reach his car. Now covered in scrapes and bleeding from the forest, still convinced the creature had followed him every step of the way. He jumped into his car and left. When the next day finally rolled around, the man decided to go back, only this time he brought friends with him. And they decided to go check out that same area that he had seen it. But when they got there, they didn't find anything. Not a single footprint. Not even a trail leading into the woods, in that matter. One that was as clear as day the day before. No records of anyone even having gone missing in that area. But the locals had a name for what he described. They called it the Pukwudgie. They also warned him, next time, it might not let him live.
This is creepy. I would not like a guy who is 3 feet tall, long arms, messing with me the woods. Like, the heck? And
Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good time. Not gonna lie. I personally, I wouldn't have gone off the trail.
of course you wouldn't. Anyway, I mean, I get he was paranoid, but at the same time, the hell was he thinking?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know what he was thinking. I think the best part of this story, besides the blatant ignorance he had, the best part was the description of the creature, making it sound like it was a goblin like, but also it had glowing eyes, like it sounds like another creature we know very well. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. But he's much taller. He's much, much taller.
Well, as far as the story goes, those are my thoughts on everything about the stories. But I'm a little confused still. Like, please help. Help. I love God, help. Anyway, uh, it's still confusing. He's got the history of it, and what is it officially?
Well, I would be more than happy to tell you about that from what I was able to find. So, this is where it starts off at. Uh, the story is uh, about the creature called the Pukwudgie. Has it's pronounced like Puk as in puck, and then wud rhymes with mud, and then J-E. It's Pukwudgie. Pretty weird to pronounce, but
We butcher anything, let us know in the comments.
yeah, we will
We will.
definitely mispronounce another word coming up here soon.
It's not a good time if we can't get it right first.
Yeah.
All right. So the Pukwudgie. What the hell is that officially? Please.
Yes. I'm glad you asked about the Pukwudgie, which comes from the Native American folklore, mainly the Algonquian tribes. They, yeah, it's Algonquian. That's it. I said the word probably right. I don't know, but yeah.
Like, and
While they weren't cryptids, they were actually referred to by the tribes as little people or forest spirits.
so a little person like a dwarf that messes with you, and to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. What it does, I call it a hit.
I mean, it's more of an hit than anything.
It hurts. That's honestly messed up, but since it's cool in the way that I'm thinking of, which, to be honest, it's ancient, but not by today's standards. It ain't ancient medieval times when this was probably around.
Well, buddy, in today's standards, I guess it would be ancient, but this was Native Americans and this was European settlers. This wasn't very that, and the global, I guess, aspect wasn't that long ago.
Hey, people would say it's ancient. Okay,
Yeah. Well, while that is true, the it was pretty long ago, like you said. The Punkwitchy actually weren't always evil either. I know how you said they messed with you, but they weren't always evil spirits. Uh, they that tried to mess with people. The earliest stories of them referred to them more as protectors of the forest, only later becoming hostile because of the western expansion by the European settlers at the time. So pretty much European settlers were coming in and taking over the forest and their land. They're just invading their homes. So yeah, I'd be kind of mad too.
but if that's true, then wow, they need to chill. I mean, when we found the land. Come on, USA, let's go.
Nah, fair enough.
But I can see why they're mad at the same point because they were there before, like the natives, and we kind of just came in, invaded, maybe killed some natives at the time.
We don't talk about
Like that. We don't. Yeah, go back to history class if you want to know more.
Yeah, we don't do that.
We're urban legends, not.
Which are technically a part of history, though. Urban legends are a part of history in all technicality.
But I couldn't imagine an Ewok gremlin looking thing with long arms just behind me, messing with me, pushing me, making noise just to scare me off and whatnot. To also just, again, like I said, scare me off.
Yeah.
That's just here.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you there. But if it wasn't for the eyewitness accounts of it, just they stay consistent, describing a creature that is only between 4 feet tall at most, with long arms that aren't proportionate to its body at all, a wide nose, again not proportionate to its tiny stature, and glowing eyes. So if that's the case, is it true that these are only stories, or are they much, much more?
Well, wanna what I say, Orion?
Sure.
We head to the forest. We go find them. We totally find them. Not kidding. Kidding. But I swear, if I meet it, I will drop it, kick it like a child.
Oh, you drop kick children.
Just
Interesting.
no. Oh,
Disclaimer: he does it. He's very nice to children.
yes. Hey, he can attest, considering I take care of his son.
Yes, but we don't. Yeah.
Anyway, but in all seriousness, I am honestly curious if they do exist or not. If there's actual evidence or any, just evidence overall. If to this Pukwudgie, if we can communicate properly with them and all that, just basically discover a new species. I mean, granted, we'll probably test it.
Yeah, we're humans. You got to think we're people. We're not people. Sorry, we're humans. We find something new, we're gonna put it in a lab and test on it. Unfortunately, but
Unfortunately.
to respond to your question, while there isn't any physical evidence of its existence, there are plenty of stories from eyewitnesses that have claimed to see it. I'm not going to go over those stories here. I'll go over those stories. It would take a lot longer. I will go over those stories a little later on this, but not here. But yeah, they have claimed to see it, and there are reports of people seeing footprints of it, but for some reason they don't take pictures. Because I see a footprint that's unusual. I'm not going to take a picture. I'm going to say I saw it. That makes sense. But however, there are unrecognized voice recordings from people being in the forest that could help point as evidence. You could technically say that's physical evidence, but at the same time, you could say that's just evidence of like a ghost. So it does contradict itself there. There's other recording equipment such as like EMF pulses. They do go off quite often with it. That is another thing that apparently is seen as that, but as evidence. But I don't think the creature is supposed as like be seen as real. I think it's supposed to be seen more as like a warning, even though people have claimed to see it. That is mainly why I say it's not really a cryptid in the sense of like Bigfoot and Mothman, because cryptids are usually described as unexplained animals and at least have pictures taken of it or supposed pictures taken of it. This one doesn't have like any paper trail really, if you think about it.
There, but just to counter argument here for a minute, I would say it's a cryptid considering there isn't real good evidence to really support that. Like It's been unknown and whatnot.
Hold on, you gotta repeat it as the mic cut out. Sorry.
And anyway, it's I wouldn't say it's a crypt. Or wait, no, sorry, I would say it's a cryptid because of the lack of evidence and whatnot. Every glance, it disappears, or at least footprints and whatnot. It has the ability to also shapeshift and disappear,
So it's a solar skinwalker,
pretty much.
minus the eating the
So
people.
we wouldn't know if there would be none to like let's go off a limb and say 5 billion of them out there. Right. Like they're hiders, like Bigfoot.
Well, hold on. No, first off, no. Bigfoot is the world hide and seek champion. Okay, I don't care what you say. He is forever going to hold that title. Also, while what you said does make sense, turning invisible, appearing behind you out of nowhere, and just blatantly vanishing isn't really a flesh and blood thing. Because, I can't do that. And I don't think Bigfoot does that. He kind of just runs away. Mothman flies away. Nessie swims away. So, I mean, yeah, they don't just vanish. They're just able to move quickly. But I'll leave that up to our audience to decide whether they think it's a cryptid or just an urban legend. On the other hand, I think those traits could be part of why this legend does persist. What do you think about it?
Like I said earlier in the video, honestly, I don't believe it exists, but I can see why people would think it exists in their point of view. But people can talk about it for hours or just debate about if it's a cryptid or not. Like Lee kind of set an example just now. But to prove it's real, sorry, not to prove it's real, to keep the legend alive, like persisting, like you said, the debates, stories, and whatnot would keep this legend alive. Like I can see this legend going on in the far distant future. Our children of children would still be talking about it. Anybody into paranormal would still talk about it to this day. I can guarantee. But and if we do find evidence one day, so I'm not saying anything on that. To be honest, I don't know what the future holds. I'm no fortune teller, but if we do find physical evidence one day, it would just keep the legend alive even more.
Well, yes, that is very, very true. I'm also a disclaimer here. I'm sorry about his audio. It keeps cutting out for some reason. Not sure why. But yeah, I think another reason why this legend will continue to live on, as said in my story, warns you not to go off the trails and also warns you to pay attention to what's around you in the woods in general. The overall legend of the Pukwudgie is a warning to those that wish to either harm the forest or that there are consequences to your actions, or that if you don't pay attention to what's around you, you'll never know like what's watching you or what could just come up right behind you and just do whatever it wanted. I'm not gonna say anything specific. Also, I thought it was just common sense to never follow strange sounds in the woods. Like
It's never it's common sense to never follow anything strange. Like if you hear crashing in your house, you're not gonna go, "Ooh, I should go out and go look."
yeah, I mean, honestly, I would have dogs. I would personally go look just because I have dogs. But if I lived alone, I'd be like, nope. If I'm going, I'm going out. I'm going out there with a gun. I'm not gonna lie. But seriously though, who in their right mind would do that? Honestly,
Nobody. Nobody.
like, yeah, I hear whistling behind me and something says my name. So instead of doing the normal response, running away. No, no, no. Let's go off the trail, look to see what it is, because what am I going to do when I find it? Oh, I saw it. It's about all I can do.
It's pretty. It's pretty. I see nothing.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, huh? Oh, okay. Let's go follow the noise. The strange noise when there shouldn't be anything here. Okay. Anyway, with that being said, almost all the stories about the Pukwudgie, including our own, which is about the same conclusion. Yet you almost didn't make it back alive at all. So that does make sense as to why the story would live on, just because it's more of a warning than anything.
Fair. Anyway, but in conclusion, the Pukwudgie is just a story about a little turd messing with people. That's all it is. To be honest, that's all it is. But my final thoughts are, to be honest, the Pukwudgie is annoying. And what if it is real, then it's real. I'm not wouldn't say much about that.
It makes can't give you a definitive answer.
Yeah, we can't really do that thing. I mean, and it's as we discussed, it's magical in some ways, like the powers of turning invisible or shape shifting into some other thing, like say a bird. It could probably shapeshift into, but in my opinion, it's not real. I mean, it has its big debate between urban legends and cryptids, but it's not real in my. But anyway, I would love to hear your final conclusion. Or
My final thoughts on this, like I said before, guys, just so you remember, this is not like a full scout podcast. This one is just urban legends pulled from every state. Anyway, back to what I was saying. What I think about the Pukwudgie is at the end, like you said, it makes you wonder what the difference is between a cryptid and urban legend. That's for sure. This is being a perfect example is our little argument we had with it. But because like wow, at first it seems like a cryptid, like a Bigfoot. Then later you see it could just be a story at the end of the day warning you, pay attention, and that if you don't, you may not make it out.
and never go into the woods because you heard a strange sound.
Yeah, yeah. No matter where you're at, if you go to the woods because you hear a strange sound, you just kind of signed your own warrant there, and that's I'll be nice. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But yeah, like I said, you later see that the story could just be it could be passed down over the years to warn about these dangers. Like I said, and it could have just been changed to be like word of mouth. Everybody adds something different every time the story gets told. So it could have easily changed over time from what it originally was to what it is now. But this story really doesn't offer many answers for what the Pukwudgie is. The Pukwudgie mainly just brings more questions to wondering what's out there, and what's around you, and what would have happened if you did this or did this. So, like, say, what would have happened if I would have drank this water instead of drinking this other item, like some juice? Like, what would have been
I could totally see it.
different option like that? I guess it's the best example I can give at the moment. But yeah, the Pukwudgie to me is definitely. I'm sorry, but it's definitely urban legend. I personally like it. I think it does have a good lesson on it. It's that if you don't pay attention to what you're doing or what's around you, you may not make it out. Uh, yeah. If that's that being said, you got anything else, Cameron?
Well, again, I would hate if a little Ewok just came up and shoved me. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if it was at least cute, I might not hit it, but personally, I'd probably hit it.
Again, I would drop kick it like a child.
You drop kick children. I did not know that.
No, I don't. Anyway, well, I honestly am getting a little tired. But from all this talking,
Yeah, that's fair.
and it's definitely a good point to come to a ending. We've been talking for this for a while. like he said, I agree with him in whatnot. It's a urban legend. I can't see it any other way. Like,
Yeah, I see it no more than an urban legend, a story, a campfire story to tell, just to scare kids.
yeah, it's honestly, if it was real,
I think we would have seen some by now.
then we would probably go sit. Yeah, we would have seen something, or at least signs, but no. But if you did like the video and our good points on it, please consider liking and subscribing. Right, Ryan?
I mean, yes, it's like we worked hard on this, and but I at least like you to, give people a like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, leave a comment. I would love you if you did that.
Yeah. Or they could do the smart thing and go check out our other channels.
Oh, yes,
If you like to discuss those.
sure, yeah.
Oh, and our store. I forgot.
Yes. If you would like to help support us more and bring you guys more content like this and podcasts, then in future videos, then please go check out our store, urbanlegendsunleashed.com. And if you would like to see us play some of your favorite horror games, such as Lethal Company and Repo, and some games that aren't horror, Dead by Daylight will be one of them. But another game that's not even a horror game, we're gonna like RB there yet, stuff like that. And then go check out our gaming channel, Operation Arcade Nights. It'll be in the link. All links will be in the description. Same with our Instagram, Urban Legends Unleashed YT24. You'll see all of our behind the scenes stuff, and then our TikTok, Urban Legends Unleashed. We'll just put little shorts on there. We only have like one right now because we gotta get stuff moving. My bad. Yeah, as always,
Been slack.
yes, it's been a lot going on. But yeah, as always, please comment, like, and subscribe for more podcasts like this one, because tomorrow we're making another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else, Mr. Conrad?
You probably see more of Sam if you guys like Sam. I know he's not here. It's a shame.
Yeah, we're all missing Doctor. Don't worry. Hey, guys,
Is his name in our Operation Arcade Nights.
yes, if
You
you
see it more there.
if you guys miss him that much, just go to our gaming channel and you can watch us play Liar's Bar. And you
Yeah.
well, you won't get to see him. You'll just get to hear him.
Also, if you want to get any merch, we do, like I said, well, like he said, Orion said, we have our store. Go check out our shirts. My personal favorite is the aquatic looking one.
Oh, of course, just signed for you.
But in all seriousness, every payment, their dollar will go to a Wounded Veterans Foundation.
And we'll donate it all at once, so it's not like we're just giving them $1 at a time.
Yeah, dude. But I don't want to go there every hour and be like, here's your money, here's your money, here's your money.
Yeah,
here's your money.
it's gonna be at once at the end of every month. We'll go and donate it. We'll do it on camera, put it on our Instagram page, so you guys know we're being legitimate. But
Yes.
as always, comment, like, and subscribe for more like this. And as always, thank you.
Well, hold on. What's this? Hold on. What's this?
What's what?
Well, you can't just say what's this or this. See,
I said
gotta get the full name.
I said podcasts like this.
Oh.
Well,
Well, now I feel stupid anyway.
you should feel stupid.
But
But
well,
anyways, as I was saying, as always, thank you for watching, and good night.